Hi there.
Hello.
Sorry, I've got a puppy paw. Welcome to Friday.
Happy Friday.
It is Friday. So we are continuing our conversation through the Bible. Today we're going to be skipping over to Deuteronomy 18, beginning in the 14th verse. Oh,
This whole section is really good. It's about prophets and prophecy, but we're going to just do verses 14 through 16. The nations you will dispossess. Let me try that again. The nations you will dispossess. Listen to those who practice sorcery or divination. But as for you, the Lord your God has not permitted you to do so. The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among your own brothers. You must listen to him. For this is what you asked of the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of the assembly, when you said, "Let us not hear the voice of the Lord our God, nor see this great fire anymore, or we will die."
So there's a bunch happening in that passage we
Right?
can talk about. Do you want to talk about sorcery? And when this is talking about sorcery, it's not talking about Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
It's talking about those who wanted to manipulate power for their own benefit. I had a kid in one of our churches who was in tears because she loved the Harry Potter books, and one of the conservative churches in our area said because a friend of hers who went to that church said because she liked that book she was going to hell. And I said, I'm pretty sure you're not. It'll be okay. So we wanted to talk about that last part.
And how often when you're faced with some big decision, you're like, gosh, I just wish God would make it so clear and just talk directly. I can hear him. That'd be great. But look at what they said. Let's not hear the voice of the Lord nor see this great fire anymore, or we will die. Dang it.
So it makes me wonder how we would. Would we have been like, oh no, I would be braver than all of those folks because I'm me.
I mean, it's easy enough to say I would be braver, but having not experienced standing at the foot of the mountain and watching the top of it look like it's on fire and yikes, yeah. I don't know.
So I guess
maybe a nice neon sign in the window, that'd be good.
God,
there we are, putting God in a box.
God, would you knit me a doily with a message in it?
Charlotte's Web, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, I mean, but
fire and a voice that's so loud, yikes. Yeah.
It shakes the mountain and the trumpet on the hill and all these earth-shaking, literally, things. And I had a friend who was from California who went to Japan for some meetings, and there was a earthquake while he was there, and all the Japanese folk very kindly pretended to be scared like the Americans were. And when the Americans jumped up under the table, they did too. Just to say, aren't you cute? We think we're going to be brave, but when we actually get in the situation, fear is fear. And so how would you want God to speak to you? They experienced it with fire from the mountain when Jesus came, and before we say, well, Jesus makes everything easier, people didn't hear him as God with us. Right? Man.
So God's tried loud and fire and earth shaking, and he's tried just being a person just like us. He's tried, where's the still small voice? Elijah, who's not in the fire, he's not in the wind, he was in the calm and the quiet. So he's tried a lot of different things. Maybe we just need to listen better.
Maybe. But so tell me, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, maybe talk with your family or something about how do you hear God? Do you hear God talk to you? Some people hear God as they're reading through the scripture and God sort of just nudges them. Some people experience hearing God in dreams, right? Some hear God audibly. I don't know how often God does that. God's only done that a few times for me. Some people hear God in sermons or in talking in community? Where else do you hear God? How do you hear God?
Mm-hmm.
And if you want God to speak out loud to you and make it obvious and clear, remember this passage, because they were like, we're going to die if God keeps talking to us. They were, yeah.
They were scared.
And then it goes on in this passage to talk about God will raise up a prophet. And you'll know that the prophet was really from God if you wait long enough to see what the prophet said happen would happen.
And if it doesn't happen, then that person wasn't from God. So,
except for, what do you do with the passages where the prophets are like, if you continue to do this, then this is what will happen.
Right.
And they don't. I mean, they stop. Right.
Like Jonah and Nineveh.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they listened and they responded. So you don't know if what he said would happen would happen. What do you do with that? Oh, man.
So much to think about.
So much. So how would you want to hear from God? How would you want to hear, or how do you hear from God? And what's something in your life right now that you're wanting to hear from God on?
Mm-hmm.
That you're wanting God to just say, all right, so turn to the left, walk 4 steps. Now turn to the right. Pick up the thing you will find on the floor. Invest it. Whatever. I don't know. But
I just have Cheerios on the floor. Just kidding.
What?
I just picked something. Anyway.
I see some dirt and grass from being outside,
Right.
but that's it. Anyway. Well, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for being with us on our daily office.
Right.
I'll try and get some music into next week's, but right now I've got a dog on my lap and I couldn't come up with what did you want me to do? Fire! There you go. There's your song for the day.
God
God bless you. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.